For 18 years, my relatives assumed I drifted between short-term positions. I never set the record straight. While they made light of me during family meals, I worked as a military explosive ordnance disposal specialist, settled my parents' property tax bills, and carried permanent marks from an operation I was ordered never to mention. I came back to Millfield, Ohio, 6 days ahead of my younger brother Caleb's wedding. My mother had readied the compact flat above the garage, the identical spot where I always stayed between assignments. Downstairs, the household talked over floral arrangements, songs, and place settings. No one inquired how I had made the journey or what my occupation involved. At the Saturday formal wear appointment, Caleb stood on a raised platform amusing his attendants. I pressed jackets against the wall, practical and overlooked. When one guest asked about my employment, Caleb laughed, "Nothing that lasts. She gets by on mom and dad's money." My father smiled into his cup. I felt no new hurt. Familiar barbs become ordinary furniture after enough time. I reached for Caleb's coat and my cuff slipped upward. The transplanted skin on my left forearm appeared under the bright fittings. Caleb's closest friend, Owen Mercer, stopped grinning. "Where did that mark come from?" "Workplace mishap," I answered, tugging the sleeve down. Owen stepped outside with his phone. 20 minutes later, two men hurried into the shop. One looked at me and murmured, "Hazard 21. The space went quiet. Owen clarified. 12 years earlier in Afghanistan, his unit had been pinned inside a dry water channel. A concealed charge sealed their sole exit while incoming fire tightened around them. I had moved forward by myself. A second blast set my sleeve alight, yet I trapped the burning cloth under my knee and completed the neutralization of the primary device. 11 troops made it out. Owen had carried me to the aircraft, never discovering my true identity. Caleb's expression drained. My father rose as if the ground had moved. "Plenty of people were present," I said. I simply did my share, then I finished pressing Caleb's jacket because incomplete tasks have always troubled me. That evening my father followed me outdoors. He attempted an apology, but I halted him. "Not today. Today concerns formal clothes." The following night I told my parents the full account. Signing up at 18 after their hardware business started collapsing, turning down university so the leftover funds could sustain Caleb, 4 overseas tour, the blast. 11 months inside a burn unit, and the scheduled transfers that had paid their home taxes and coverage for 9 years. My mother wept most when she realized I had telephoned her every Sunday from a recovery courtyard while she spoke about church drapes. Then Caleb appeared furious. "You allowed us to seem ridiculous." "I allowed you to stay mistaken," I replied. "You decided how loudly to declare it." He departed without reply. For 3 days I declined to pull him free of his embarrassment. Then he tapped on my door at daybreak holding 2 mediocre coffees. "Tell me the entire account," he said. "Your side," so I did. I described the tripwire, the concealed charge, the flames, and the mental list I kept reciting while my flesh burned. I explained that bravery was seldom theatrical. Most often it was simply the next required action. When I finished, Caleb bowed his head. "I labeled you worthless in front of a man whose life you preserved." I stayed silent. "I have no right to feel better at once," he went on, "but I need you to realize I comprehend." Afterward he altered through deeds. He shifted me from the extra table to the family table. He kept my account off the wedding site. He sought approval before asking Owen's 2 former unit members. Most vital, he vowed there would be no public display. At the reception, I discovered a folded note beside my setting. Inside, Owen had listed 11 names. No compliments, no details, only the men who had walked free of that depression. Caleb's remarks came after the meal. "I want to recognize the person who showed me that appearing is labor performed before anyone observes," he said. "She tracked my baseball numbers when I was 10, shielded this household in ways I never troubled to question and never sought recognition. To those who arrive early." He raised his glass, then turned aside, granting me space even while acknowledging me. "Later my father invited me to dance. I repeated the wrong version about you for years," he said. "I am finished inventing accounts. I am simply going to feel proud." Near midnight I joined Owen and the other former service members for one subdued drink. No addresses, no formal gestures. I pushed my left sleeve to the elbow. The scar rested openly under the outdoor bulbs while everyone spoke of roofing work and kids' baseball. No one gazed. That everyday instant felt larger than any decoration. For years I had covered the scar to spare everyone else from inquiries. Leaving it exposed was neither admission nor payback. It was simply my existence, at last permitted to inhale. The next morning I boarded the coach with one bag and both sleeves pushed up. My family's regard had come delayed, yet my value had never needed their approval.